want to go over this article. This is from the Denver Post. Fight brewing between feds and kombucha tea makers. Now, what does that have to do with vaccines? Well, for years, U.S. Alcohol, Tobacco Tax, and Trade Bureau have monitored kombucha makers nationwide for violations of federal alcohol rules. A product with more than 0.5% alcohol by volume must be labeled as such. And it's critical that customers have that information for health, religious, or some other reasons, such as childhood consumption. Well, let's look at the right here, guys, on the the insert for Merck vitamin K shot. Oh, it's got 0.9% alcohol in it. Yet they want to inject that into little babies, and there's not a big deal about it. Yet we've got a whole federal bureaucracy ready to go after people for making kombucha, something that's really good for you and something that you should be drinking if you're not drinking it already. So, Brandy Vaughn, welcome to the Alex Jones Show Overdrive Hour. And
thank you for having me here.
Getting into the vitamin K shot, I talked to you about that. You said, oh, wait, I've got 2 insert packages that show what? What are we going to see here?
Well, I thought it was interesting that you brought that up because I was just sent this week some photos from a nurse who did took photos of the actual box that the vitamin K shot comes in, as well as the different vial. So there's 2 different makers. Well, I'm sure there's more than that, but these are the 2 popular ones that they were giving in her hospital. And this one says the active ingredient in it is polysorbate 80.
Right.
And that is linked to infertility, strongly linked, as well as to autoimmune issues and all sorts of things.
And that's an additive they put in coloring as well.
It is.
And it's really bad for people. It's in a lot of other vaccines as well. It's not just the vitamin K shot,
right.
But I have on tape my pediatrician telling me it's very safe. The ingredients are no big deal. It's got a little bit of alcohol in it for preservation and some castor oil and the vitamin K. And that's about it.
It only has 5 ingredients in it. Alcohol, cornstarch, there's no aluminum, there's no mercury. It's really a very safe injection.
I think it's got castor oil or some sort
You're
of
right,
castor
oil is one. Yeah. So, it's all very, basic ingredients that are very small, minute amount.
But as you can see there, that one's got polysorbate 80. Now, the other one is even worse.
Yes, and like you mentioned, a lot of doctors are telling new mothers, oh, it's just vitamin K and saline. It's very, it's very safe. There's nothing dangerous in it. And clearly, either they're not telling the truth or they're not being told the truth. So the second picture is actually the vial of the vitamin K shot. And as you can read on the side, it says no more than 100 micrograms per liter of aluminum.
It only has 5 ingredients in it. Alcohol, cornstarch, there's no aluminum, there's no mercury. It's really a very safe injection.
A little aluminum for the newborn to help them think and process information better. To help maybe with breastfeeding or something like that.
Yes.
And then on top of that, you've got the MMR that they like to shoot into them in the second day.
That's actually the Hep B vaccine.
Hep B,
and it has 250 micrograms of aluminum. So newborn babies right out of the gate are getting 350 micrograms of aluminum. And this is a toxin, a known neurotoxin that should not be in our bodies in any amount.
Right.
It's linked to breast cancer, it's linked to Alzheimer's, it's linked to a lot of neurological issues, as well as gut issues, because the brain and the gut are linked through the lymphatic system. And this just does not belong in our babies. There's no reason that we should be shooting our babies up with this stuff
unless you want to cause problems down the road, which is what I firmly believe is what the purpose of all these vaccines in this many amounts over and over again, especially in young babies, is causing. It's causing people to be lifelong patients of the pharmaceutical companies so they can help with ADHD, asthma. Hey, we got a pill for that.
Right.
We're ready to help you. You're really on the fight right now with this mandatory HPV vaccine. Tell us what's coming down the pipe with that.
Yeah, actually, the HPV vaccine, Gardasil, which is made by Merck, it's pretty much the driving force behind the mandatory vaccine laws that we're seeing. Merck, we call it in the industry, have to pay for Vioxx vaccine. And, Vioxx, largest drug recall in the world, happened before. And
so
now
this
Merck
is the
has
recoup.
to make it, it has to recoup some of those profits. And they priced it at $135 a dose, got the FDA to approve 3 doses within 6 months. It has huge, high aluminum content, like we were mentioning with the vitamin K shot. And they got it approved for boys and girls, 9 to 26. So they're looking at tens of billions of dollars with this. It's their new blockbuster. And that is really what's driving a lot of these mandatory vaccine laws.
And I don't know if you've seen the videos. There's videos, one that was out of, I think it was Colombia or Venezuela.
Yeah.
And it was the room full of girls all convulsing at the same time. And they had just been given the shot. The guy's on video going, we don't know what's going on. They told us to do this. We think there's something up. Please help us. Please help us. These people are utterly just being devastated around the world. It's not just in the United States. This is worldwide that this is a bioweapon, it seems like.
Right. Japan has taken it off of their recommended schedule. The EU just in September launched an investigation into the HPV vaccine after a great Danish documentary came out exposing how many serious reactions are being seen in populations of girls being given this vaccine. And there are lawsuits all around the country against Merck, against the vaccine maker, for injuries and deaths related to Gardasil. Yeah. And that's one important point here in the U.S. Vaccines are, completely protected have complete liability protection from the federal government. So those lawsuits that we're seeing around the world and the information that comes out in the discovery process of the judicial process, we can't do that here in the U.S.
It's all hidden.
It's all hidden.
Yeah.
And there's no liability, which means that vaccine makers make far more profit off of vaccines than they do normal pharmaceutical drugs.
And they don't pay for any of these payouts. It all comes from the dose that you pay for when you get the vaccine. $2 of that goes into this fund, it's a huge slush fund, but they've paid out over $3 billion already. So it's not safe and effective like they keep telling us. One thing the pediatrician said was, it must be really scary being a parent now because there's so much information. And the whole time she was saying that, I was thinking, she really means it's so hard and scary being a pediatrician because there's so much information that parents are arming themselves with, and they're standing up and saying no to that regimented schedule of just injecting aluminum into your body.
You know what? There's a lot of information out there, and it's hard. I think this is the hardest time to be a parent. It really is. It's the hardest time to be a parent because there's so much information out there. And how do you filter through all that information to find out what's real, what's, a real concern and what's not?
Right.
I mean, I know you want to do what's best for her, and I know you don't want to take any unnecessary risks.
Go listen to Dr. Blaylock give a 2-hour speech on what aluminum does when it goes into your brain. And all they do when they do these studies, and correct me if I'm wrong, they just test for antibodies. They just go, oh, you got antibodies, that means it works. And what's going on is these adjuvants like aluminum and mercury are stimulating the brain and creating antibodies. And they go, oh, well, there's your proof that it works. There's your proof that it's safe and effective. Is that right? Is that how they do that?
Yes. And one thing that I think people aren't aware of is that in a natural environment, we would never come into contact with 6 to 9 pathogens at one time. So when we're injecting this with the adjuvants, which are heavy metals, which are very toxic and hard to detox from, as well as additives like formaldehyde and the monkey and the animal and human cells, DNA, polysorbate 80, MSG, which we're supposed to avoid in Chinese food, right?
Right.
And mercury, which we're supposed to avoid in fish.
But it's okay to inject in your veins.
To inject into the bloodstream where it goes straight to the vital organs.
Right.
What we're seeing when you inject so many vaccine doses and so many pathogens with all of these adjuvants, the body has no idea what's going on. We're overwhelming the immune system. And so this is where we're seeing all of these autoimmune issues, the food allergies, asthma, eczema, psoriasis, lupus, all of these types of things, because the body just starts fighting everything.
It starts attacking itself.
Yeah, it
attacks itself.
And it attacks things like peanut oil, peanut allergies, or because peanut oil is used
off
as
the
a
charts.
stabilizer.
There's like 5 kids in my neighborhood who can't have peanut butter. And if my kids eat peanut butter sandwiches, they have to go outside.
I'm not gonna sit here and take it anymore.
I want more candy. I want more video games. Lie.
And it's that type of behavior that spurred me to do the research to develop a true nutraceutical formula that was designed to smooth out and help children focus. All of our children are hit with modern mind control. Television, music, fast food, GMOs, sugars, you name it. Young humans have not yet developed their nervous system and are being hammered daily by globalist concoctions. It's no wonder they can't focus and calm down, and then are put on dangerous psychotropic drugs. Working with my team, we set out to find the best formula with the highest quality ingredients that children would actually like and take. We worked with the leading manufacturer in nutritional supplements that are safe for children to bring you the most affordable and powerful calming formula out there. Introducing Child Ease with herbs and calming extracts like chamomile and lemon balm and essential nutrients that taste great. Obtain your Child Ease today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's Child Ease exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com.